So what exactly do we need from the Nintendo Switch 2? Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, yes, we need more power, but the games are more important. So, let's dive into what this thing actually needs versus what we might want. So for the Switch 2, I'm going to take a look back at the launch of the Nintendo Switch and what made this thing really successful. So it started off by releasing with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is also on the Wii U, but the Wii U is irrelevant, doesn't matter. I'm sorry, there wasn't really much to work with that console anymore. So what we need at launch is, well, we know now that we're getting Mario Kart 9, or 10, or Super something Mario Kart, whatever the heck it's going to be called. We have a new Mario Kart launching with the Nintendo Switch 2 at launch. No doubt about it. It was revealed in the teaser for the console. So that's a very smart move because Mario Kart 8 is one of the highest selling games of all time. That is a very smart thing. Very smart move. But what else exactly does this console need to succeed? In the long run, we're talking. I would say that this console just needs the games. It needs a lot of third-party support, and it needs very good, strong first-party games. Now, let's look at the first year of the Nintendo Switch if we roll back. We had Mario Party. No, we had Super Mario Odyssey, which was fantastic. That was within the first year, but it launched with Breath of the Wild, and we also had Mario Kart ported over, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Granted, it was a port, but it was still a really fantastic port, and it's still the highest selling Mario Kart of all time, one of the highest selling video games of all time. So we have Mario Kart 9 at launch, or 10, or whatever it's called. That's good. That's a strong start. It's going to probably launch with some kind of sports game as well. That might not last very long. What would be smart, very smart for them to do, make a new Nintendo Switch Sports, but make it where you can utilize the Miis, add some mini games, make it so much like Wii Sports. Nintendo Switch Sports 1 sucks. Yes, I said that. The replay value sucks. The game doesn't have much in it. It's fun with friends, but I'd rather be playing Wii Sports, and that's not how it should be. We should have a Switch Sports game that is like Wii Sports, that is really freaking fun. And I'm not talking a game like 1-2 Switch, or everybody 1-2 Switch. We don't need 3-4 Switch. I think that's dumb. Nintendo has to realize the Switch is like their highest selling system ever made. It's catching up to the PS2. It's going to end up being like the best selling console of all time. If they want to continue that with the Switch 2, they're going to need to seriously come out with some really good first-party games that everybody wants to buy. And that would mean a new Switch Sports, better than the last one, with a lot more content. Everyone would eat that up. It would be one of those things like Wii Sports. It's a throwback. They tried hitting us with nostalgia with the first one, and it sucked. Don't get me wrong, I had some fun with it. It's fun with friends. But wouldn't you rather be playing Wii Sports? See, I want a new Switch Sports where I'm like, I want to be playing that over Wii Sports. That's the kind of feeling that I want from it. And I think that if Nintendo's smart, they will do something like that. I don't know if it would be at launch. It should be at launch, though. I don't want a weird gimmicky game I'm going to play for a week and put down. I don't need 3-4 Switch that I'm going to play for a week and put down. No, if they made a new Switch Sports and it was like Wii Sports, I would not put that game down within a week. I would have a ton of fun. I would make it to where you have to unlock stuff. Make it to where you can bring in any Miis you want. You can make more Miis. Have a plaza where you can play online with your friends. Like, all sorts of potential is there for a new Switch Sports, and it would be so dang fun. Now let's go back to Mario for a second. All right, come here. Not Mario Galaxy 3. I'm sorry. It's not happening, okay? I don't get me wrong, it'd be cool. But Mario Galaxy is the only one that did get a sequel. I don't think we're getting Mario Odyssey 2. Nintendo is creative, innovative. They like to do things different. Look at Mario Wonder. They gave them the time, and they made an incredible game, an incredible experience. We're getting a new 3D Mario within the first year of this console. I don't think it's going to be at launch. I personally think it's going to be their holiday 2025 game. I really do. I really, really do. I strongly believe it's going to be their holiday 2025 title is going to be a new 3D Mario title that is like open world galaxy kind of sandbox, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. It's going to take aspects from Mario Odyssey, from Mario Galaxy. It's going to take aspects from Bowser's Fury. It's going to take all these different aspects and combine it all into one incredible experience with new things to do, fun things to do. They're going to blow us away. And that's going to sell a lot of copies and a lot of systems. It's going to help. Now, let me talk about Zelda for a second. All right, here. We're not getting a new big Zelda for a few more years. So, what do? It's going to sell well if you bring back Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD. Bring them back. They weren't on the Switch. We thought it was happening. And the reason why it didn't happen is because we got Echoes of Wisdom. We were expecting to see Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD. I believe that if we do not get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD on the Switch 2 within the first year, I think, which we might not, actually. We genuinely might not. They might have a lot of new games planned. So I think if we don't get those, that we're going to get a new, another remake of one of the top-down Zelda games, such as Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons, which would be fantastic. And I think it would sell pretty well. And it's a smart move by Nintendo to do something like that because those games still sell pretty decent. Not like the 3D Zelda games, but they still sell okay, I think, for Nintendo, to where nostalgia hits a lot of people, and they sell pretty well, I would say. Now, we all know that Metroid Prime 4 is coming. Is this game going to release on the Switch 2, though? Debatable. We're going to find out come April, because I don't believe we're getting a Switch a thing this month, a Direct. I really don't think we're getting a February Direct. Personally, that's just me, because they announced the Switch 2 Direct in April. I don't think we're getting a Switch 1 Direct. I think they're just going to hold out these next couple months, and then we're going to get a ton of information, a ton of game announcements, this and that, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a wild experience watching the Switch 2 Direct and what the heck happens when this thing launches, what games launch with it. But I think Prime 4 could be a launch title. I think it would sell okay, but I think that's a game that would be on Switch 1 and 2. So you could get it either for Switch 1 or Switch 2. There'd be an upgraded version of it that you could buy for $10 more, or maybe they're the same price. I don't really know. I feel like Switch 2 games are going to be $70 at launch. I don't think any of them are going to be $60 anymore that are first-party titles. Third-party, though, could be $60. They could be $60. No. Let me talk about launch titles for a third party for a second. Okay. There's a lot of rumors going around. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 or Elden Ring, one of those two, is going to launch with the console. I'm hoping Red Dead 2 because I want to replay that, and I would like to test the waters of the new console with a game like that. Elden Ring, I don't know if I'll rebuy. I love it. I played like 300 hours of that dang game, and Platinum Trophy it on PlayStation. But I don't know if I'd get it on Switch 2. But I really want Red Dead 2. I think that would be a strong third-party launch title, an open-world game like that. They're both open-world games, though, and both would really show the performance of the new console. And I think that either one would be a strong way to launch the console with, such as the Nintendo Switch with Skyrim. Skyrim was an older game, though, so it wasn't going to test the waters of the Switch, but it was still a smart business standpoint to launch that with Skyrim because it was such a popular game. And being able to play that in handheld on the go at the time, before the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally existed and all that, I think it was the perfect opportunity for them to go with Skyrim. You got to go with what's kind of popular, like one of those big popular games, and either Elden Ring or Red Dead 2, those are both big, popular, open-world games that you can put a lot of hours into that a lot of people would want to buy. So I think either one of those, as even if we just get one third-party title at launch, it would probably be one of those. Makes the most sense, in my opinion. Now I got one more thing to talk about. We're not going to talk about the hardware of this thing. I don't really care about that. I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. But as long as, like, it's better than the Switch. I have the base Switch, so, like, it's going to be a lot better than that. I think I'll be satisfied with what I end up buying. I don't know what the price will be. I'm at a strong point of $400, but it very well could be $450 at launch. Like, maybe a bundle with a game or something is $450. I don't know. But let's talk Pokemon. That is the last thing I want to talk about here. Well, there's Kirby as well. I think Kirby, I don't think it'll have a game within the first year. Probably year 2. Like, there's a lot of franchises from Nintendo that are not going to launch within the first year because you got to have that time over time with these franchises to branch out the new console with, the same way the Switch did. But Pokemon has a possible direct this month for Pokemon Day at the end of February, and we're going to see Legends ZA, or ZA, or whatever this thing is. It could be 2 games, I don't know. And I don't know if this is going to launch with the new console or not. I kind of hope so. But the thing is, here's the problem with this, right? We might get Pokemon Generation 10 this year. It's been 3 years since Gen 9. Gen 10 might be coming to the new console. I feel like ZA, or whatever the heck it is going to launch on Switch 1 and Switch 2. It might even release before the Switch 2 and then just be on Switch 2, but launch on Switch 1. My concern is I don't want them rushing anything, and having 2 Pokemon games in 1 year is not a good sign, because they did that with Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, and look what happened with Scarlet and Violet. Very, very, yeah, we don't talk about that very much.
What the hell is this?
That being said, though, if Generation 10 truly does end up being holiday of this year, that is a massive, massive win for the Switch 2. If it would be exclusive to Switch 2. There's no way it would be on Switch 1. There's no way that the Pokemon Company... I mean, they could do that, but the thing is, if they do that, then they're not going to sell that many Switch... They're going to sell so many more Switch 2s if Pokemon Generation 10 launches on only Switch 2. Think about that. This is Pokemon we're talking about. Those games sell so much that so many people will buy a Switch 2 if you can impress them with your new Pokemon games, which I should do a whole video on what Generation 10 should look like, because Gen 9, Gen 8, like, we haven't had anything like super strong since like Gen 6 or something. It's been a while since we've had something like pretty strong outside of certain remakes. And I feel like Pokemon, there's a lot that they need to change and capitalize on. There's been some good points in the games. And Legends Arceus, I love that game because it was different. It was a different new experience. It did things that Pokemon has never done before. And that's what made it so cool. And it makes me wondering what the new Legends game is going to look like. And revisiting the world of X and Y of Generation 6, I think is really cool. But that being said, I don't know what all we're going to see this year for this thing. I'm just making some estimated guesses on how you make this thing succeed, what you got to do what the Switch 1 did, but capitalizing even more so to where you're going to sell consoles and everything is going to pan out pretty well. They're taking it safe, and that's why they went with Switch 2. Instead of something different, which is weird because we don't really know the gimmicks with this thing. I mean, it's like they're like a mouse, kind of. Maybe there's a gimmick with that. I don't know. And I don't know what kind of gimmicky games they're going to add. I would love a new Nintendo Land. Or just bring back the original, but I don't think they would do that. I would, because there's so many more things they can do now. I think a new Nintendo Land would be a very good game to launch the console with as well, because Nintendo Land was great on the Wii U. That was one of the best Wii U games, hands down, and they never ported it to Switch, and it was fantastic. I think a new Nintendo Land would be phenomenal as well. But that being said, guys, that's just my take on the Nintendo Switch 2, how it can succeed, what it needs to do. It's really just, it needs strong games. At launch, after launch, the first year is going to be very, very important for this thing. In order for it to sell consoles, it's going to be insanely important. I think Nintendo realizes this because they are in a very good spot. They are playing things safe, and I think that's smart. Now we might get another Switch 2 a couple years after this one, like a Switch 2 Lite or something, depending on where we're at, how the sales are, all that. But that's just my 2 cents. I'm excited to see the Direct in April, to see how this thing's hardware is exactly, what games this thing is going to launch with, how the first year is going to go for this thing is going to be very interesting. But that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I had to make this because I was just curious on everything with the Switch 2. I wanted to share my thoughts on what could launch with this game, how the first year could go. That being said, guys, thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.